Melissa, we can't see your video.
Oh, duh. Thank you. All right, guys, happy October. It's crazy that we are literally already into the second week of this month. It is a longer month, so we do have that advantage, but I literally feel, and I say this on every call, I swear, this is the fastest, slowest year there ever was, but the closer that we approach to the end of the year, I feel like it's literally just flying by. So just a couple of things before we get started. This weekend we have my personally sponsored team, Diamond and Star Diamond Team Retreat. It is going to be in Lake Tahoe, and I'm so excited to just pour into these ladies. Watch our stories, watch our posts, because I promise you, you're going to have lots of FOMO, which I hope will inspire you to move your business forward to be there next year. The Diesel Nation Retreat is for all diamonds and above. That is still a go. That is going to be the 4th through the 7th, I believe, in Orlando. So those who are still planning on going, let me know. I did actually just cancel the original house because it's peak season and that particular house went up over $1,000. So we're going to figure out what that looks like. Because a lot of people, their plans change, like Bailey, she's having a baby. She's not going to be able to bring a 3-week baby with her, right? Other people are like, there's no way I would be able to make that and the Success Club trip. And so just communicate with us and let us know what that looks like for you. Hopefully you guys are loving 30-day breakaway, and if you haven't yet started it, I would encourage you to make that investment into your business. It's an amazing program, and it's totally different than anything we've ever had because it does give you that running aspect. In every workout, I'm literally drenched and literally starving every day, which means my metabolism is like way up, which is a positive thing when you are wanting to lose weight, right? Or build muscle or tone up, whatever it is. And it also takes me to another point, which I'm going to cover kind of in this call, but you have to get behind launches. The 19th, we have our customer launch. And so you making this investment now and sampling it out and even having, a week, 2 weeks to show of the results or the experience, that's going to help other people go on this journey with you. Right? So I would encourage you sharing in your stories every single day. I did a post to my personally sponsored coaches today and just saying, if you feel like you're struggling right now, here's some gut check things to ask yourself. Are you showing up on a consistent basis? Are you sharing your journey authentically? Or are you just taking like graphics from Beachbody or something off Pinterest and writing words with it? Because I promise you, when you don't feel like you're connecting with people, it's probably because you're not connecting authentically. And it's so easy to go and like throw up an inspirational quote or copy and paste what somebody else said and then tweak it and make it your own. But when you are your most authentic self and you're sharing your story and connecting with people and telling them why you love this program and the changes that you're seeing and the mood shifts that you're seeing, people they're going to feel that energy. They're going to see the difference in you. So I would just challenge you and encourage you, if you're not already behind this launch, get behind it, because that is going to take, like, the energy you have right now is going to take us into 2021. And the effort that you put into this launch, let me just mute these other lines. Bear with me. Sorry. Here we go. Okay. We have 9-week control freak coming, right? So don't wait to get excited about a program. Maybe running's not your thing, but you never know until you try. And so I want to challenge you guys, get outside your comfort zone. I wanted to be a runner for a really long time, and this program's keeping me accountable to those goals, right? We are also planning as a team, and when I say team, I mean Tenaciously Fierce Down. So it doesn't matter if you're on Katrina's team or Maddie's team or Bailey's team or Leah's team. It doesn't matter where you land in the organization. We are one team, one dream, one mission, but we're planning a turkey trot. And so there's a link that you guys can register. I know Maddie shared it in her page. I shared it in our page. And if you want to register, you get a cool like little zip up. And whether or not you're local, because I know sometimes you're like, well, I'm not local, so I'm not going to do that. Do that though. You want to create that energy. Do you know that my coach lived in Texas and I never met her until I went to Summit, and I literally spent 5 minutes with her that entire Summit. That was it. So I never let that distance be an excuse. If you want the energy and like excitement and all that you see on other teams, or that you're seeing that we have within local meetups, create that in your area. That was one of the things that I did, is I was like, my coach has this amazing challenge group, like where people are like engaging and they're talking, like, and I remember feeling like I was totally talking to myself. I just went out and created it, right? And I did that by staying consistent. And so I tell you guys all of those things to take you into what we are going to be talking about as we go into the final like 87-ish days of the year. Because the work that you do right now is going to set you up for 2021. So a lot of people will get to the October, November, December, and they're like, it's the holidays, I'm just going to take my foot off the gas. Or I've already locked in everything for Elite or Premier, or, you know, I'm fine with Diamond. I'll push for a higher rank at the end, at the beginning of the year. No, that's a BS excuse, and that's a limiting belief of you keeping yourself small. And I'm going to be really pouring into my girls this weekend talking about these things, because your comfort zone is going to kill you. I want you guys to really think about, what are the goals that you set in January 2020? Because I know January 1st, January 2nd, you woke up and you're like, okay, this is it. This is going to be my year that I do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to walk the stage. The stage at Summit is this. I'm going to go to leadership. I'm going to get invited to the Success Club trip. I'm going to earn $1,000 a week. I'm going to pay off debt. I'm going to have that first coach to my team. And so tonight, I want you to do a gut check and say, what did I set in January, or whenever you came on, or whenever you decided to set those goals? Because if you're anything like I was, I didn't set goals that didn't feel unattainable. I played it very safe, and I did things that didn't scare me a whole lot, because that protected me and didn't allow me to get hurt, right? It didn't allow me to get rejected. It didn't allow me to put myself out there so people could watch me fail. That's just not something I wanted to do. But your goals are only going to happen if you want them to, right? We can get on these calls every single week and you can be inspired. We can have guest speakers. You can get on Summit replays of the National Wake Up Call every week, because it's all very, very inspiring. But if you don't take action on your goals, nothing's going to happen. So first gut check of the night is, where are you in the things that you said you wanted to do on December 31st, 2019? Where are you on the goals that you set at the beginning of the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, and even the fourth quarter, right? And just because you set a goal and it doesn't happen when you want it to, that doesn't mean it comes off the table, right? You just move the date. I remember it was like 2017, I think, 2017. Maybe it was 2018. It was the end of the year. Leah was pushing really hard to hit Diamond, and she missed that goal. But she didn't take it off the table. She just moved the date, and eventually she achieved that, right? How many of you guys have been in that position where you're like, I really wanted this goal, it didn't happen, but I know it's going to, and I'm gonna change my date, and I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do that, right? Next thing is, I want you to ask yourself, and this is another gut check moment, is this gonna be the year that you're like, it's fine, it's 2020, it was a shit show, I'll handle that in 2021? Or are you gonna boss up and spend the next 80 something days making sure that your situation is different walking into 2021, that your shoulders are a little higher, maybe your waist is a little leaner, maybe your bank account's a little fatter, maybe the ranking next to your name when you log into your back office is different. And even 2-star, you're still going to push for 1-star. Or even though you've lost diamond, you're not going to let the end of the year roll back that way, right? You're going to say, that's not it. I'm back. Like, I'm going to make this happen. These are my non-negotiable commitments. Because you have a choice in all of this, guys. You have a decision in what you do and how you show up every single day. One of these is that discipline creates freedom. I can remember sitting as a brand new baby coach watching Christina Delgado and Mindy and Becky go on these trips and do all of these things and walk away from their jobs and be able to take their kids to the lake in the middle of the day, or have the freedom to go purchase something that was really important to them, and then they would share a story about it. And I would always think, like, that's really cool for them, but I don't know if I could do it, right? Until I flipped the switch and just said, why not me? That first year that I was hustling my tail off, feeling like I was talking to everyone on my own, felt like I was literally running against the wind uphill with like boulders coming down at me. That was the year that I started creating discipline for myself. And so what did that discipline look like? I would wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I had 2 small children and a freaking infant. I had a 9-to-5 job to go to, right? So I was on somebody else's time. I was not in control of the things that I got to do during the day. Sure, would I sneak on my phone during, like a bathroom break or something like that? Absolutely. On my way home, I would listen to personal development or replays of national wake-up calls. At the dinner table, you guys, at the freaking dinner table, I would sit there and I would make my family listen to coaches like Scotty Hobbs, where he shared his strategy of the 15 things that brought him home to his family, so that they understood that this was going to take work and it was going to take sacrifices. I quit watching freaking TV, all the stuff that was TV, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is because I haven't watched a show in like 2 years. But those were the sacrifices I was willing to make to get the freedom. And I don't mean freedom like you're just like balling out, throwing money up in the air, driving freaking Maseratis. I'm talking about, think about the freedom that's important to you. What are the things that are keeping you up at night? For me, I know it was, and this was a total full circle moment. I'm trying not to have a squirrel moment, but I need to share this with you guys. So Sunday after church, I went to my niece's birthday party. Her babysitter was my boys' babysitter when they were little. So Bubba went to her when he was like 6 months old. Tyler went at 12 weeks old. And we haven't seen her in a few years, and she literally started crying, and she's like telling me all these things that she remembered about my oldest son, who's almost 14. And I'm like, I seriously don't remember that. Like, I don't remember that. And she's like, you would drop him off and he would just cry. And like, I know like my boys, like that was part of the reason why I didn't want to send Jenna to a babysitter, because it would tug on my heart. But like when she was explaining that to me, it literally made me cry, because that was what pushed me to come home to my kids. That was my why, was to not have to drop them off at a daycare anymore, was to not have to miss out on all those first moments with my daughter. And maybe that's not important to you. Maybe not walking away from your full-time job is important to you, but what is, right? Because there's got to be something that's got you on this call at 6:45 on a Tuesday night. It's not just to hear me talk, right? It's because you have a desire for more in your life. I know Danielle, this summer, she would take and make collages of all the days that me and my kids would be at the lake or the beach or the pool. And she was like, I want that, right? So you guys have to go where you're envious and just do that gut check. Am I willing to do the work, or am I just interested in having those things, right? So, you have to make a decision to stay disciplined even when things get hard. Guys, 2020 has been a shit show, but guess what? My income's grown. Our team has grown. Do you know that the first year that I hit elite, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just sharing authentically. Do you want to know how many coaches I recruited a month? Like 3. Do you want to know how many coaches hit Success Club consistently? 3. So adding 3 coaches a month and having 3 coaches hit Success Clubs consistently, that got us to become an elite team for the first time in 2015. 3 doesn't sound like a lot, right? Sometimes it's just going back and investing in the people that you already have and pouring into them and saying, listen, I don't know what your plan is with this, but here's mine, and I'd love to link arms with you. I can't build this team on my own. I really need a partner, right? And sometimes it just takes looking in the mirror and saying, I haven't been giving my best. I haven't been showing up, but I'm going to spend the next 87 days doing the vital behaviors every single day consistently, or 5 days a week. Treat this like a job, right? If that was one of the first things that like was a light bulb moment for me, is that if you treat this like a hobby, you'll be compensated like a hobby. But if you treat this like a business, you'll be compensated like a business. When I decided that I was going to make this a business, I never stopped. Not when my kids got sick, not when coronavirus hit, not when I decided to quit drinking alcohol, not when people decided to quit and go to other companies, not when people told me no 100 different times, not when people joined other coaches on my team after I had already invited them. I didn't let the petty shit get in my way of building this, because I knew what was possible on the other side if I just stayed disciplined. Okay? So go back to those goals and see what you created and ask yourself, do I have a vision of what 2021 looks like? And if you don't, now it's time to create that vision. How do you want to feel when you wake up in the morning? What are the people that you want on your team? What's the relationship that you have with your significant other or your children or your family members? Who are those toxic people that are still taking up space in your life that you're hanging on to and you just don't know how to shed that weight, right? What are the type of groceries you want to have in your refrigerator? What's the new furniture that you want to bring into your house? What are the workout clothes that you currently want to have that you don't? I'm talking about every single detail and getting very clear on what you want, because when you are that specific and you can wake up in the morning and you can look at that vision and you can read it out loud and you can meditate on that and you can pray about it and you can share it with other people and it becomes a reality. So if you haven't done that yet, do that, okay? Let's see. Okay, so for the last 80, what I'm just gonna call it the last 90 days, I want you to ask yourself, what are you shooting for and why? Because if it's just to be diamond so that you can say you're a diamond and you hear your name on the national wake-up call and that's it, I'm here to tell you that will crumble, right? But if it's, I need to build a solid foundation so that I can propel my business forward and then grow to 2-star because my family needs this income, so that my kids can go to a private school, or so that I don't have to ask my husband for permission to go to Target, or so that I can pay down debt, or so that I can qualify for those bonuses, or so that I can get to New Leaders Conference. I don't know what that is to you. You have to figure out what that is. But unless you have something attached to why you're working towards the things you'll continue to make them negotiable, right? You will continue to settle for less just because it's available. I'm here to remind you guys, and I know that it sounds like I'm preaching to you, and I kind of am, but I hope that I'm teaching you that old ways don't open new doors. So if what you're doing in this current state isn't working, AKA helping you bring on new clients, helping you feel really freaking excited when you jump on to work your business, hitting Success Club, putting money in your bank account. If your husband isn't supportive, go make money. Guaranteed homeboy's gonna get on board real freaking quick. Know why? Because I've done that.
What are you eating? Go outside and eat your dinner. Go.
I'm gonna mute.
Go eat your dinner.
You all, let's see, mute. Cool. You have to decide what's important to you and stop giving up when it gets hard, or when you have a stomach ache, or when you have a bad day. We all have those hard days. Guess what? I took a social media day off last Sunday, and I actually texted Bailey about this. My husband was like annoyed. He was like, what? You're stepping away from your obligations? Do you think that's a wise choice? Are you leading by example? Right? And I was like, I need a day off. I like need a day off. And I just had this tugging at my heart that I need a day away from social media every now and then. And I then went back and communicated it to him. Like, everybody needs a day off. And Sunday seems to be best for me. Maybe not the day before a big launch, but literally I'd scheduled all my posts. Like, my business isn't going to crumble and our team's not going to falter if I take one day off. Okay. Do you have a game plan going into this final quarter? What I mean by that, do you have a social media game plan, right? What is the atmosphere you want to create? How are you going to promote Peppermint Mocha? How are you going to do this customer launch next week? How are you going to promote 9-week Control Freak? Do you have sneak peeks scheduled? Because I promise you, people don't always want to hear from me or Christina Delgado or other coaches. They want to hear from you. And I know it's uncomfortable to go out and say and like go live on your page, but I promise you that's probably the best way, especially as a newer coach working this business or an upcoming leader, to get out there and share this opportunity with people. Schedule one day a week or a couple times a month just to go live on your social media and share your story. Speak authentically from your heart. I can't tell you how many times I did that, and it would bring people on. Like, I would end up like snot down my face, ugly crying, because I was just being my real self, and people connected with that. So create a game plan for what that looks like. And so what I want you guys to do in there is, when are you going to do your power hours, right? I have got to get back to 5 a.m. power hours because I'm more productive first thing in the morning than I am the rest of the day working in pockets, right? So you have to be very intentional with your time. If you're still working a full-time job, schedule it on the days that you can do it. Maybe you're like Danielle and you're working 12-hour shifts and you have 4 days on and 3 days off. On those 3 days off, schedule 2 hours of Beachbody work if that's what you want. Or if you're like Martha, driving home in the dark right now, she's got to probably go home, still do dinner, get the kids, ready for the next day, all her stuff. So that was my story. I would get up in the morning and I would do it before, so that when I came home, I didn't have to worry about any of those things. On my way home, I could listen to replays. I could do those things. Okay. So create a game plan going into it. The next thing I have down is do your work. This will not build itself. And I know that sometimes it looks like from afar that, Maddie throws up a perfectly cute bikini picture and she gets 300 likes on it and then has Success Club 36. Homegirl works. It doesn't happen by accident. She's very intentional with her time. She shows up consistently, even in Mexico, right? Even while she's on vacation, she's doing the thing. This business is not hard. It is not hard. So you bet your tail when I'm gone Thursday to Sunday, I'm still going to be working the entire time because I want people to know what it's like to be on a part of our team. I want them to know the sisterhood that we have. I want them to know that we have a lot of freaking fun. I want them to know that fitness doesn't have to completely suck, and that just because you're a health and fitness coach doesn't mean you just sit around eating kale and drinking carrots, right? So I'm going to work this weekend, right? When I was having Jenna, y'all, I was still working. I wasn't going to do anything else while I was sitting there waiting for the doctors. So I literally sat there and I sent out invites and I scheduled posts and I did those things. We all have kids. We all have circumstances. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. You just have to decide what's important to you. And so, because I think sometimes people confuse work with scrolling and posting. That's not the work, okay? The work is sending out invites. And so an invite might look like this. Hey, Leah, thanks so much for following along on women on a community like this. Have you ever thought about doing something like this too? Question mark. XOXO, Melissa. Hey, Myra, thanks for watching my stories. I can't help but ask, are you a health and fitness coach too? Question mark. XOXO, Melissa. Hey, Bailey, you've been watching all of my stories, liking all my posts. It would be so selfish of me to assume that you already have a plan or a team that you're partnered with. I'd love to set up some time to talk with you and see if this is something that might be in alignment with you, right? Those are all invitations. None of those sound salesy. None of those felt icky. None of those do any of those. So you can figure out what feels good to you. And then what I like to do, guys, is I go into my notepad of my phone, and then I literally say, hey girl, and I literally just let it type the whole thing, and then I can copy and paste it, and I can send those messages. Today, I was like a squirrel and doing all the things except for working, and so I was like, okay, until I send out 15 messages, I cannot get on social media. Like, I can't go do anything else. You have to set those things for yourself. Connection might be, Danielle, oh my gosh, your puppy's so cute. How old is it? Right? Or Martha, oh my gosh, your daughter is darling. Where did you get that dress? Or Alexa, I'm obsessed with that flannel. You have to tell me where you got it. Or Amanda, oh my gosh, I saw that you're into yoga. I am too. What's your favorite pose? You're just connecting with people. We've been making friends since on the internet, since MySpace. And if you're not old enough to know what MySpace was, I just totally dated myself. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not hard to make connections with people. You're just doing those things over and over and over and over and over. You have to get interested in what other people are doing, or they're not going to be interested in you, right? If you're constantly waiting for people to come and love on your stuff and like all your stuff and comment on all your stuff and watch your stories, go do that to them. Get interested in what they are doing. Go find your future best friend, okay? Next thing, I have to speed this up. Okay. I already went over this, is what's keeping you up at night, and figuring out what that is, because that is the thing that will propel you forward. Let's see. I wrote, okay. And then I already went over this, is that you have to have a vision. You have to know what your vision is, because otherwise it's like saying, hey, Martha, I'm going on this trip and it's going to be really fun. And there's going to be a lot of people there. I think there's going to be some sun, and I think we're just going to have like a really, like, we're going to have a good time. Do you want to go? She's like, but where are you going? I'm not sure yet, but we're going to go, and we're leaving today. Can you come? I mean, I don't really know what's going on, right? So you have to share your vision of where you're going and take people with you. Maddie started acting like a 5-star elite coach way before she was a 5-star elite coach. Like, I called that girl as soon as she started working. I was like, she's going to be a top 10 coach one day, right? So same, like, I can see these people who show up and do the hard things and are consistently. Bailey, every month without fail, she is making sure she hangs on to her Success Club streak, right? She worked her tail off reverse engineering to see how many points she would need to get the team builder block. That looks like this. You guys all can get it. I just actually got my premier one today. Now all we need is elite for this year. So you just have to know where you're going, okay? So how are you going to slay the rest of your year? Well, you're going to do a power hour. And is that 6 days a week? Is that 5 days a week? Is that 3 days a week? That's completely up to you. I don't get to tell you how you run your business, but when you're doing your work, you're doing your work. And don't pick and choose the things that you kind of sort of like to do more than the things that you sort of don't like to do. Do the things that make you feel most uncomfortable first, I promise you, then it's out of the way. Okay, there's many options for you to do power hours. I know Heather Taylor has been jumping on at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want that, I know Diesel Nation leaders, we have a whole graphic. I do Wednesdays at 6 a.m. I also have a couple Mondays and Fridays. If you need to like get on because it works better to work with people, get on those. I know Maddie does them. There's some in the Champions page that you can just go back and watch. There's ones all over YouTube. Literally, the business took it off. So sticking to a power hour consistently. Okay. The other thing is you're going to raise your energy and your vibrations. Okay. How are you going to do that? Energized dance parties. I know it's not for everyone. Maybe it's just you shaking your Energize and like mixing it up and throwing a song with it and then tagging your team on Instagram and Facebook, right? It shows community, it shows energy, it shows excitement. Triller is a great app to do it, all the things. But that is one way, like just because I know some of her girls are on the team too, but like every single morning without fail, Maddie's got like 10 people who have tagged her and she's reshared their Instagram or their energized dance parties, right? That's energy. People are drawn to that. Monica Lopez, same exact thing. Recognition and tags. So when you're shouting people out, tag other people in it so that we can go in and love on those people, because that creates energy, right? That's why when I'm tagging you guys in it, it's because I want you guys, number one, to see that you can do it too. Number two is I want you to celebrate the people on your team, because that's one of the vital behaviors. And number three, it creates energy, okay? What was I trying to say? Oh, link arms with each other. Don't be an island. When you are like withdrawing and you're getting quiet and you're trying to do this on your own because your life is so busy and you just have a lot going on, I promise you, you're backsliding, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to be like, nope, I'm good, right? And I'll be honest, for my team, my downline is like 1,700 people. My personally sponsored team is over 100. So for me to reach out to everyone on a daily basis, that's why I have those pods, because I can connect with you guys better that way. That's why I post in the team page and in my accountability groups every single day. The other thing is go and breathe new energy into your accountability groups. If you're in the Soul Studio on Facebook, you'll probably notice I've changed the dynamic in there. I have multiple questions throughout the day, and it has nothing to do with fitness. I want people to engage in there because I want that to be a place that when they're struggling, they know where they can come. When they're seeing success, they know where they can come. When they're thinking about who can I invite on this, they want to bring people into that, right? So if you're not happy with where the energy is on your page, in your groups, in your team, go shift that, because guess what? You get to control that. You control the thermometer and the atmosphere in what you're in, okay? Okay, so we're nearing towards the end of the call, and I just want to remind you guys, and I hope that you hear me when I say this, you guys are difference makers. You guys have the ability to wake up every single day and to make an impact in other people's lives. You have the ability to change the atmosphere in their homes without ever going. You have the ability to change someone's thoughts about how they feel. You have the ability to change the directory of their family's future by helping them break habits. You get to do this because you're a coach, and you do it in the everyday that feels like the mundane. But I promise you, on the days when you don't show up, and I'm not talking about a scheduled day off, I'm talking about when you just don't feel like getting up, and you don't feel like working out, and you don't feel like doing your personal development, and you don't feel like connecting with other people, and you don't feel like dealing with your hard shit, that has an impact on other people. And if you don't feel like you're making that difference now, I challenge you to go do that. Go out and be a difference maker. Go out and be a light bringer. Go out and be a visionary. Go out and be somebody who shatters glass ceilings so that people watching you know what's capable for them. Go out and be that inspiration that you feel called to be. Because friends, the world is not served by us playing small. It's so easy to stay comfortable and to say, I'll handle that in 2021. But I promise you, that's not what you're supposed to do. Because if you were, you wouldn't be on this call tonight. You would have said, I'll catch the replay. Right? So you have to figure out what's holding you back, what your roadblocks are, create that vision and that plan to stay on track no matter what. When the world shifts around you, that you have something to focus on and control. Because for me, this has been something that's breathed life back into me. It has helped me put my oxygen mask on. It has helped me become this person that I didn't even know I was capable of becoming. And it's crazy to look back almost 7 years and to know how much has changed not only in my home, but in the lives of my team and my clients. I had a woman text me the other day and she was like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm like 2 pounds away from my goal. And I was like, what? That's insane. Like I hadn't heard from her in like a month. She dipped off Facebook. She isn't on any social media. And she was like, yeah, I was like, well, how much weight have you lost so far? And she was like, I don't know. I stopped counting. And so I was like, well, where did you start? And I did the math for her, and it was 36 pounds. And I was like, okay, so besides the weight, like, how do you feel? Because you have to freaking feel amazing. And she was like, I mean, I still kind of battle depression, but like, I have a different level of hope. And she's like, my husband lost 40 pounds just using the containers with no exercise. These people aren't even drinking Shakeology either. I should say that. Like, it's insane, right? When she started with me, she was like so depressed, so anxious, like struggling with life in general. And to hear that she's so close to achieving this goal. Okay. Couple last things that I wrote down, guys, is create a morning routine. If you don't have one, create one. That means gratitude journaling or meditation or prayer or whatever that looks like. Take time for yourself, because I promise you, when you do that, everything will start to shift. Because if you're just literally getting up in the morning and hoping and praying that the kids aren't up, and then it's like a shit show because you're like scattered because you have to run and get lunches done and you haven't even had your coffee, that's not how anyone wants to wake up. Create yourself a morning routine, okay? The next thing is, please get clear on your vision and have a system. So whether that's Streak or using the Rise Up Planner or whatever it looks like, have a system that will help you. Take it from me. I'm a freaking hot mess. I used to fly by the seat of my pants, and I know it drove people crazy. It just worked for me until it didn't anymore. And now it feels so much better to have a system in place where I know what I'm doing, when I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and I can help others create that too. Other thing is, find a success partner. If you don't like doing stuff alone and your like schedule doesn't work with what we do as a team, go and freaking find somebody that's going to do it with you. Okay. You don't have to do this by yourself. And that doesn't mean that it has to be someone from our team. It can be anyone in Diesel Nation. It could be someone from Maddie's team. It could be somebody from our team if you're on Maddie's team, or Katrina's team, or Monica's. Like, literally, there's like 450,000 coaches. Go find them.
Sorry. Hold on. Leave meeting. Okay, sorry, my phone was about to die, or my iPad was about to die, and I didn't want it to cut out on you guys. But there's so many coaches. Like, go to the National Wake Up Call and see who's commenting on stuff. See if those people are your people and connect with them. But figure out a system. Better yet, invite your best friend, like the people who you want to do life with. Get them on this journey with you. Ask them for that accountability. Link arms with people that you want to do this business with, because I promise you, you'll have a lot of freaking fun. This isn't fun when you're doing it alone or you feel like you're talking to yourself, but also that doesn't give you the opportunity to give up on those things. So just a quick recap on all the things that we talked about tonight, because I know it was a lot, is discipline creates freedom. Are you going to do the work to get yourself to where you want to be for the things that you said at the beginning of the year within the next 90 days? Do you have a roadmap for success and what that looks like? Do you have a monthly marketing plan for the next 3 months? Set specific goals around your rank and your income, when you're doing your power hours, the vision that you have, all of those things. And then doing the freaking work. Stop settling for less just because it's available. Invite people, connect with people, rinse and repeat, and make a whole lot of freaking friends. And keep doing the things that work, because success leaves clues. I promise you that the top coaches, or coaches, elite coaches like myself or Maddie or Katrina, we don't just wake up and throw spaghetti at the wall and hope and wish that we're going to do something. We take action, and then we reverse engineer our goals. Okay. So does anyone have any questions on anything that I shared, or you need clarification, anything? Okay. So, oh, go ahead, Martha.
Yeah, I just want to ask you if you have any meetings on the morning, early morning. You used to have it. I just want to know, do you still have it?
Yeah, so there's a 5 a.m. power hour, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have a 5:30 or 6. And we'll get better about just like reposting those, because I know that, I think sometimes though, like when you're up that early in the morning, you're like, nobody else is on, I'm not even gonna post it, you know? So if everyone is ready to dig their heels in and work, let's do it, you guys. So we'll get those posted again. And then this week we have leadership. So and myself start tomorrow. Christina, Monica Lopez, Veronica, Kelly, we all start tomorrow, and then everyone else starts on Thursday. So watch our stories, watch our pages, get inspired. I'll never forget 2015. I text my coach, this will be the last year that you ever go to leadership without me. And it was the last year she ever went to leadership without me, because I worked my tail off every year after that to be able to go. I'm definitely an Enneagram 3, and I will do all the things to go on all the trips and get all the shirts and all the stickers and all the everything. So that's just important to me. If it's not to you, I promise you want to be there anyways, because there's going to be soul filling moments. And then this weekend I have my team retreat with my team. So watch my stories and our stories and all the things for that, because I promise you're going to want to be there next year. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Rooting for you. And if you need anything, as always, you can reach out. Is anyone on their computer that can take a picture for us, or a boomerang? And if so, just tell us to smile. No? Leah, did you do it?
I was trying to get there. I'm ready. Hold on. Wait,
Okay.
wait, hold on.
Are we doing a boomerang, or are we doing?
Let's do a boomerang.
Okay.
Hold on. Gotta clean the old camera off.
Okay, everyone, camera's on.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go. All right, got it.
Awesome. And we'll save that and post it in the Mad Empire also. But seriously, you guys, I want to know your goals. I want to know your vision. I want to know how we can help you get to where you want to go, because the world's not served by you playing small, and people need your light in their life. Let's freaking do this. Let's crush the final quarter of the year and make an impact. I love you guys. Have an amazing evening. Leah, thanks for all you do every week to help me. And that's it. Have an amazing evening. Bye, guys.